He just dropped fucking one of the albums of the fucking last week, man. One of the hottest albums last week, hands down. He got fucking front page on WVCC's Weekend Bag. I don't like to introduce MCs in a cipher. An MC should introduce himself. So I ask all my guests simply 3 questions: who you is, where you from, and what you represent. Word, player.
Speak the Rebel, Boston, Mass.
How about
508 shit. That's Framingham, Natick, Massachusetts. What's up? I got a fucking cool ass background right now. I don't know how to.
I love that shit, dog. It's looking fucking fire right there. Speak coming out of the doom gas, yo.
Yeah. Oh, I can be the robot.
You can. Dog. Look at you right there, though. Yo, right there, you gotta say, buy my album.
Buy my buy my album.
There you go with the robot face.
Oh, I got the eyes. There we go.
We'll snip that shit. That'll be your promo video right there.
Yeah.
We are here with Speak the Rebel, man. What's good, baby?
What's going on, buddy? Thank you for having me. All the way from -2 degrees Fahrenheit, Natick, Massachusetts is where you find me.
Holy shit!
I got a space heater next to me.
Dog, I'm
inside.
It's so cold.
Layers.
It's so cold. I had to put on my hoodie just to talk to you, dog.
Yeah, bro.
It's coming through. It's coming through my headphones.
It's brutal. This shit is brutal.
Did you say -2 right now, brother?
-2 with the wind chill. We got wind.
Fuck.
So.
Yo.
Got wind.
Everybody in the chat. I got people in Indianapolis. I got people out west. I got people fucking in Hong Kong. Everybody throw up your freaking temperatures right now. Fucking interact. We got Speak the Rebel in the fucking place to be, man. The hip hop lifers are here in fucking full support of you, man. It is great.
Oh, those my dudes. So you got to say like Fat Man Scoop. You know what I'm saying? What's your temperature now?
Yo, temperature check. No, yo.
Temperature check, ladies.
I save that for when I'm playing the Speak the Rebel tracks. Let me pull out my Evernote notepad with all the questions I got here for you, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm excited about the questions. I'm way too excited about this.
I've been collecting. I've been doing research, man. I've been trying to make this shit freaking exciting and freaking interesting. But with a guest like you, man, I mean, it's not hard. I'm just gonna throw them up and you're gonna fucking tumble them bitches, yo.
Yeah.
As William Shakespeare writes, what's in a name, man? I remember when I first started following you on IG and Facebook. I remember you had just dropped an album, and you're there like, they're telling me I can't use Speak, that there's some other motherfucker called Speak, so I have to fucking throw it. Tell us about the making of Speak the Rebel and how we have you on your bottom form.
I've been Speak, to the best of my knowledge, since 2008. So we're going back ways. Like I've been doing this for a minute. So I was Speak forever. I got flyers upon flyers upon flyers. I toured with Duck Down as Speak. You know what I mean? Like, got that name. The problem is I've noticed with a lot of cats now that have been out for a minute, around that time period, the internet was really just shifting over. There wasn't really streaming yet. We were in that like weird in-between period of like cats were still going hand to hand with mixtapes. There wasn't Spotify yet. There was I think at the time like the big thing was like
MySpace.
We had MySpace and we had Reverb Nation was like
Reverb
the first,
Nation.
Like, that's how long, like that doesn't even exist anymore. So there was no long story short, there was no technological stamp on that was mine. So it was basically whoever got to registering on streaming first under whatever name kind of got the name. So this other cat from California came out in like 2014 using the name Speak. And I mean basically like he just won the major label run. He's on a major. I'm not.
Word.
And they basically just took my name. I mean,
Question though.
so
So,
yeah,
dude from Arrested Development, his name isn't Speak, or is that Speech?
speech.
That's
That's
Speech.
speech.
Okay,
I
okay,
get that a lot. I get that a lot. I get that a
okay.
lot.
Because that's why I'm here. Like, yo, but you didn't know that was dude from Arrested Development from fucking that's like freaking
Yeah,
1994. But no, but that's Speech. All right, Bob. But
yeah. There's a lot of cats that had that happen. Even my boy XL, who's from Boston. I don't know if you know XL. He was in the Creators. He's an amazing solo artist.
okay,
That dude had a video on MTV back in like '92 as XL and the Creators.
okay,
My poor dude was out for a minute. All of a sudden came back, had to add the to it. A lot of us are adding the whatever.
word.
Um, so like the name race is kind of screwed up a lot of people.
You got to get that shit freaking copyrighted quick, yo. Fucking get that shit up on DistroKid, Spotify.
Exactly. And and it's also, I've learned it's better to have like a more complex name than whatever it may be. So
I have H2O and spelled 50 different ways on fucking
yes.
on Spotify. It's the most annoying shit, yo. They're like, fucking, is it this H2O? I'm like, fuck, man. Nobody knows how to spell my name.
Yep.
Let us know a little bit about Speak before hip hop, man. Speak growing up in Massachusetts. What were some of your passions before hip hop, man? Because we all are bigger than hip hop. We are bigger than this.
Yeah. Man, to be honest, like, and I'm not even really just saying like that, there really hasn't been much life before hip hop for me. Like I've been doing music since I was like no lie, like 10.
Oh shit.
I was in
Okay.
I was in a metal reggae band for 7 years before I started rapping. So we started in high school and ended it was from like 16 to 23. I was in a band.
Oh shit.
Uh, so I've been like a band nerd basically my entire life. Uh, I was really terrible at sports. So I figured if I was ever gonna get laid in life, that like sports was not gonna be the way to go.
Better learn how to play a
So
motherfucking instrument.
yeah, you know what I mean? So like pick up an instrument and then like you know you know, need something to separate me from the herd. So
Shit.
that's yeah, honestly, like my entire dream in life is to just always has been to be a musician,
What,
and hip hop was like there the whole time for me. I've always written, even as a kid, man. I used to write like stories and poetry and letters, and um, so it just kind of spilled over, in my late teen years, and I've been kind of running with it ever since.
what were your earliest musical memories that turned you that way?
My earliest musical memories, man. So like the true origin of my hip hop passion.
Yeah. What was the fucking what was the
My
radioactive
mother.
fucking meteor that you found, dog?
So check this out. This shit blew my mind the first time I heard it, and I said this a couple times. My mother had this Christmas cassette tape that had Run DMC and Jazzy Jeff and Will Smith on it with these Christmas tunes.
Get out
So
of here.
this is that Christmas time and all this Queen shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like 4 or 5 years old, and that's the first rap song I ever heard, and it blew my fucking mind.
That's fucking.
And at the same time, this was about the same time now, like MTV was in its prime. We're talking like 90, 91. So right around that time period, they dropped a video for that shit. And it was like, it was nothing I'd ever heard. I actually fucked up my mom's turntable because of that. My mother had one of those like 4-tier get ups back in the day with like the receiver, the tape deck,
The
record
towers.
player on top. So I was cutting one day. I was trying to cut on that shit as a 5-year-old to my Run DMC Christmas tapes, and I broke the whole needle and all that shit. So, but that was like the first time in my life. I don't, for whatever reason, it was like it blew my fucking mind. And that around the same time period too, I was a New Jack as a 4 and 5-year-old, so Boys to Men was popping.
Hell yeah. Come on.
Boys to Men and New Edition was popping heavy. Yeah, like right out the gate, like I was just obsessed with that shit, man. It was the drums.
Look around and let me
was,
find out that you knew fucking New Edition choreographies and shit, dog.
Yeah, bro. Like, yo, Bobby Brown is nothing to play with. I fuck with Bobby Brown even still, man.
Me and my wife were saying the other day, I can't wait to see freaking when they finally make the Bobby Brown movie, like the official Bobby. Yo, that life and how freaking like, I mean, God knows what he still has in store, man. But
Oh yeah, man.
right now, it's he needs a redemptive story, man. Because to be to be the motherfucker who took out freaking Whitney Houston and his it's fucking it's a brutal freaking story of a musician.
Shout out to Roxbury cats who made it though. Yeah. All right, Bobby Brown, Roxbury.
Yeah, is Bobby Brown from fucking is Bobby Brown from Massachusetts?
Yeah, he's from He's from Boston. He's from Roxbury, which is a pretty tough area. Okay. So yeah, man. Roxbury cat made it out and married Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, man. And then, but whatever. That's a.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's focus on the positive.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah, that's a story for I want to see that drama, dog. Yo, talking about Massachusetts and the music scene out there, man. You guys have something in the water. It must be coming from the dirty snow melting into the fucking terra firma there, dog. Because yo, you guys are bubbling right now, nonstop, man. There's so much fucking good music coming out of there. Like the last, I'd say, heavy 5 years. I mean, there's always been the Slains, the Terminologies coming out of there, Rex coming out of there, little fucking cats that are like, oh, what's going on over there? But now it's you guys are hitting in mass freaking function, man. Can you tell me a little bit about growing up in that scene and what would you tell people, hip hop heads from outside of the state of Mass, that the scene's like in Mass and what you guys got cooking?
Yeah, so that's a multi-part question that I have several passionate answers about. First off, it is so fucking exciting to be a part of this right here and right now. About 7 or 8 of us just like in our prime fucking grinding. You got like Weapon ESP, SD Knack is from here. We got King Arthur. Who else? You got the Dunners with Deese and Oak Lone Tree. I mean, there's just G-Fam. Yeah, dude, G-Fam.
The whole Genosha family, fucking
Genosha, Ghost of the Machine, man. I mean,
man, fucking you guys got fucking shooters.
We got production. Yeah, Enels, exactly. We got like half of the Ground Wave cats are from here. We got Cloak and Dagger, which is a really big production team out here. So like basically what you're seeing. All right, so like I tell people this. All of us who started around the time period where Slain and Esso and Acro and Term and all those dudes, Rex, were all popping off heavy, was right around the time a lot of us really started this. So we would have been in our like late teens, early 20s. Mm-hmm. So we came up under them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For us, that was the first group of cats that like really started seriously putting Boston on the hip hop map. Mm. Up until that, we had fucking Marky Mark
and Edo G. I mean? Yeah, word.
Well, yeah, we had an Edo. So that was like 20 years before all mm-hmm. this. So like we had Edo, we had the Creators, Bobby Brown. So we had that group of cats, Crumb Snatcher, Guru, and then they faded out. And we had that kind of second coming 10, 15 years later with Term and all that and XL and like, so basically like we're the cats that have been opening for the cats for like the last 10 years. You know what I mean? And as they've gone on, some of them have either kind of slowed down a little, some of them are acting, some of them are on major labels now doing worldwide huge shit. So it left a void locally where it just so happened all of us who've been grinding at this for, 5, 10 plus years. It just so happened that there was like a void of talent, and here we are. And like it's beyond cool to like be in the right place at the right time with like-minded people. And the cool thing is we're all super close. I mean, we're all like really close personal friends, talk every day type shit. So you have not only all these people popping up, but you have all these people working with all these people, whether it's on songs or whether it's, yo, what do you think of this? Or yo, what do you think of this beat? Or like, yo, what do you think of this verse? So you got all these heavyweight dudes bouncing ideas off of each other, and we're all playing shows with each other, and we're all like getting it's this Boston takeover right now, which is dope, man. We're all getting on Shady 45 and a lot of these other, PF Cutton and you. We're all getting like on these as a movement, and it's just really cool. It's like it happened completely organically, man. These are the cats that hung on to be in their prime to do this together.
And that's what it is, man. It's the cats who were too hard headed to fucking quit at it, right? And some cats fucking took a step back and got that hunger, and they're like, nah, man, I still got something to say, and came back. And it's just at the time where it's a new renaissance going on right now, man. And you guys are representing fucking Boston, or the whole mass state. Sometimes my boy Weapon ESP and freaking Ghost get pissed at me when I'm there, like, yeah, Boston. They're like, yo, we're from Worcester, dog. That shit's in the middle.
Yeah, Worcester. Worcester area.
I always say Worcester, like that's just a steak sauce and shit. Yo, but definitely what you guys got going over there, man, is I understand what you're saying of coming up under the scene before you. Over here in South Florida, we've had a vibrant scene for 20 years, and that's what you do, man. And an OG told me once, it's got to come to a point. You as an MC, you grow to the young MC who wants to get his name known in the cipher, then the one who wants to get his name known in the studio and on the fucking rocking stages and stuff. But it gets to the point where you've done all that, and you got to be the MC who's the dude passing down the torch and saying, yo, there's still a scene here, and putting on freaking jams. One thing I want to commend you for, brother, is you just put out a post on Facebook, just giving shouts out to everybody who was involved in your new project, Doom Poetry.
Yeah, man.
And it was a really dope fucking post, because you were just shouting out people for just being, yo, my encouragement during this freaking top fucking mind weightlifter or whatever, and you were just freaking blessing. It's cats that you were bouncing ideas off of and telling you, nah, yo, that shit is dope. That shit is dope. Don't worry, don't doubt yourself. And it's dope that your scene is like that, man. I want to ask you about a really good friend of yours, freaking hero of Bars for Bars, Bars Over Bars. Can you tell us? It was a historical moment for all of us that follow you guys.
Rudy,
Rudy,
I've avoided this. I've avoided this for like 7-8 months, dude. I will not. I will not comment on this to anybody else.
Then I just want to give props to and ask you, who is a gentleman by the name of what is his? Hold on, I got his name from somebody. Who is Paranoia?
Oh, Paranoia? You talking
Paranoia?
Paranoia is different from the other. The Paranoia is fucking street Jesus, man. That's my bro.
Wow.
Paranoia is another cat, that's coming up under us. He's a little bit younger, but same dude, like just passionate cat who made some viral videos in my defense and all that.
Bro, I want to say, I just want to say here live on my show and stuff, and I just wanted to throw that out just to freaking stir the pot a little.
Well, listen, no, I appreciate, like, check it out. So, like, I have the opportunity to heavily shit on dude right now, and I'm not gonna do that because, one, he's a fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? He's like a 20-something new to all this shit. He's a kid. He hasn't earned his fucking shit yet. All right, so that's his own ignorance. Two, like, we're kind of above that, if that makes sense. Like, So listen, like
I respect it completely.
People who know the situation know.
Man.
And I'll tell you this, that there's really not a lot of people overly interested in working with him.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because for me, as an outside onlooker,
Yeah.
and somebody who's part of the larger hip hop community, because you guys have your scene in Mass, right? Your scene
Yeah.
in Boston and in Worcester. We have our scene out here
Yeah.
in Miami and South Florida, right? But
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
collective, we're all part of a larger scene, and when we start interacting with each other and
Of course.
following each other's scenes and stuff, we see this going on. And as for me, being a promoter, being somebody who does online streaming, I've followed Hero and worked with them and stuff, and Hero has always come off to me, being young, as a kid who's freaking dog. He's at least given a go at it, and he's putting in the work for it. Now, being a promoter for years, because I've done promotion for fucking now 15 years, I know about the ups and downs of working with freaking people. I know the ups and downs of doing shows, and being that young, right? He's carrying a lot on his shoulders. So, I mean, I just want to take a second to say salute to Hero. He's doing the shit. They're trying to provide platforms for MCs out of Mass. But
you know what? I'm not gonna even let him use my platform here.
no, I feel you. No, that was just on the side. But the point I really wanted to make is that night, when that went down,
I'm gonna say fuck Hero right now.
Okay.
All right. Fuck you. You're not getting the salute while I'm on here. You're a fucking asshole. All right. If you really want to push me into that, I'm trying to be gracious here.
And you
I'm
were
not gonna like co-advertise with bro right now.
No, I feel that. But the reason I brought up paranoia is because on that video, and he stood up, and something that I didn't.
People are gonna kill me.
No, my bad. But on that, it was something I had never seen at a live show, and for somebody in your scene to stand up for you in the middle of a show and interrupt the show, and he was supposed to be performing.
It was wild,
right? And he said, "Yo, I'm not gonna perform. This shit isn't right. I don't respect this, and I think we should be doing something bigger." And that, for me, when I saw that, I was there like, "Yo, who in our scene down here would take a stand for another artist like that?" Right? And it just showed a solidarity.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's
Absolutely.
the only reason I brought up the whole thing, is because I wanted to give some flowers to Paranoia, man, because that and being in the scene, man,
dude.
and having
man,
and having the platform, and he's like, yo, it was his set. He could have been performing at that time, and he's like, you know what? I ain't even gonna perform. This means fucking more to me. That's bullshit what you did.
Man.
And salute to him for that, man. I wanted to ask you, who is Bill Ripken to you, bro?
Bill Ripken. All right, so it is very complex answer. I like this one. Thank you for this question. All right, so I am into collecting, buy and sell collectibles. So like Hot Wheels cars, records, baseball cards, shit like that. So I personally collect old baseball cards, and I like to collect weird shit that not everybody has. So back in the late 80s, early 90s, there was an infamous baseball card of Cal Ripken's brother Bill, where he's chilling and he's holding a bat, and on the bottom of the bat it says "fuck face."
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I shit you not. So whoever was doing the photography and all that either like knowingly noticed it and thought it was hilarious and put it out, or they didn't notice it at all and put it out. So it was a big thing that like this fuck face card is going around, and little kids are getting baseball cards.
What the fuck? Oh, I got a fuck face.
Yeah, dude. So what the card company did was they went out and they were like, they grab all this shit off the shelf. They destroyed a lot of them that weren't in circulation, and then they reissued a corrected one that had like a little black box covering it. So the fuckface card is worth about $25-$30 if you have one. So me being me, I was like, I gotta have one of these. And then I have some cryptic. I got a cryptic bar on Happy Killmore.
Okay.
With weapon ESP, where I say fuckface big bat swing like Bill Ripken. That there's no possible way anyone is ever gonna be able to figure that out, but it's cool as hell that you just mentioned that.
Bam, bam. Yo,
Yes, that
salute,
was great, man.
salute to the
That was
man.
a good question.
Salute to the man, Weapon ESP, with the inside freaking knowledge, man, and the alley oop bomb. Yo, let me ask you a question, man. You alluded to it on your past albums, man. On Slob Ross, one of my favorite songs on the album uh, is on a reggae vibe, and you do the same thing on freaking Christ Suicide. And I wanted to ask you, man, are you half
Yeah,
Puerto Rican, half Jamaican and stuff, or freaking yo, uh, please tell us a little bit about
yeah,
your fucking. This
reggae
motherfucker said
roots.
reggae metal band. I've never, dog.
Yeah,
Yo, please tell us about your reggae metal.
the yeah, the hilarious thing is I'm Lebanese and Italian, so I'm Arab and Italian, and somehow do reggae music mixed in.
And look like
Uh,
Joel Ortiz.
yeah, I get Nems a lot too.
Yo,
I get the little or Ill Bill. I got a lot of Ill Bill comparisons. And then someone called me Thick Shady is my favorite one. That was my favorite. That was my favorite nickname ever. Thick Shady.
oh,
Um, so yeah, all right. So what? Shit, I lost it. What was the question
the
again?
reggae
I'm
metal
sorry.
band.
All right, the reggae metal band. So this goes way back. A lot of this goes way back. So I'm also like a huge punk fan. Late 70s to like mid 80s punk, like Bad Brains, The Clash. Uh, I mean, dude, like 8,000 different, the Ramones.
Okay.
Um, so here is a cool thing where this dissects with hip hop. So the 70s, you had in New York, you had the dance hall scene coming up at the same time as hip hop, at the same time as punk, at the same time as disco. Like all New York City, like 75 to like 86 was just like the epicenter of brand new styles of music. So you had, just like the scene in Boston, you had a very tight scene where all of these bands, like the Clash, was going over and watching Cool Maldi shows.
Hmm.
And then who else was here? You had you had a lot of the early dance hall cats that were out here playing the discos and the hip hop shows. So then you had that, and then you had the punk bands going over and checking that, and vice versa. It was basically like every scene was like, what the hell is this? I've never heard of this.
Word.
So as a result, if you listen close to a lot of those bands, there's a lot of each other's influence. So the Clash, for example, and Bad Brains will play the most furious, fastest punk songs you ever heard in your life, and then go into like the sweetest roots reggae that you've ever heard. You know what I mean? So for me, growing up on that, especially the era I grew up in, man, we came up in the mixtape era where you had tapes of 8 different genres on one, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And people were passing tapes all the time. So for me, it kind of made sense because like I grew up listening to all of that was included. And then I really got into reggae in my teens. My cousin Matt actually was the drummer for a really big band up here called Fear Nothing Band, um, which they were a reggae metal band with 2 Jamaican lead singers. So I was a kid coming up in that scene too, where those were some of the first shows I'd ever been to, period. Um, so like I fell in love with that, and it's funny because it's in the hip hop I listen to, but it's also in like the punk and rock that I listen to. So for me, I wanted to kind of be a little different, and I want to take that angle of like, what if I hardcore rapped for 12 songs and then hit them with like out of left field with some like soulful reggae shit for 1 or
Hot.
2, you know? So yeah, so and it also the other part of the scene of our state is out in Western Mass. It's kind of a jam band, reggae band sort of scene. A lot, it's like huge hippie areas out Western Mass and like central New York. So as a result from that, if you head out west, which I do a lot of stuff out west, it's more kind of hippie rap. It's more like cats are rapping with jam bands. So it's cool to be able to bring like an element from our culture over here and come out there. And
No,
so I picked.
when I heard my bad. Is that my volume on your side?
I don't know. Try
Okay,
that.
hey, okay, good. We're better. When I heard the Slob Ross and what's the joint that's the reggae joint on that?
Bury Me a G.
Yeah, the Bury Me a G. Oh, fucking when that joint came on, the only thing I could think is this motherfucker is crazy live. This motherfucker knows what he's doing, and he sets his albums up so that because I could see that shit live, and at a pub or a bar in Boston, shit, women fucking would go crazy for that shit. And but as an MC, that's what we are, yo. We are the movers of the crowd, and we have to be conscious of that, man. You can't go on there. You have to know your crowd. You can't go over go over to hippie hop freaking out in the West and do freaking hard ass rap. No, you got to know your crowd and freaking rock it. And I commend you for it, man, because
thank you.
Your raga crooning is fucking superb.
Thank you. I try not to overdo it. I don't want to like run it into the ground, but I definitely love doing it, and I'm always gonna have like one or two songs, per release like that. So plus it's like I tell a lot of cats, you gotta be super diverse. If you look at the cats that are really doing it on a cultural changing level, I'm talking like the Kendrick Lamar's, J. Cole's, those cats, and this is what I aim for, and even Jay-Z, Jay's the same way too. What you gotta aim for, those cats can all come out and do the streetest set ever. You know what I'm saying? They can hit you with the thuggest, hardest shit and satisfy that crowd. Those cats, though, those same three dudes could go to the Library of Congress in front of a black tie crowd and perform and have the audience still connect with it just as much. And that's what you were saying earlier with the mover of the crowd. And it's like a lot of us got to keep in mind that like the crowd is a lot bigger than our crowd. And that doesn't mean you have to change who you are by any means. It doesn't mean you change your message or clean it up, but it's about making yourself more accessible to people who aren't necessarily hardcore underground rap fans like we are.
You stick yourself into that mold, and that's all you reach, man. I was watching a documentary the other day, but it was basically regarding the legends, the eccentrics, like Joan Baez, like freaking like Jimi Hendrix, like Andy Kaufman, like people who they're legends because they didn't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Right. And it's sometimes hard not to, right? Like, yo, when people are there, like I tell people A$AP Rock is my favorite MC.
Yeah, man.
Like, and I try to show them that shit, and they're like, "What are you listening to? What is he saying?" They're like, "It's a very acquired taste." And to try to explain it to you would take too long. Either you get it or you don't. And he doesn't care.
Yeah.
And just because you don't know about him doesn't matter to him. And he still has his fan base doing that, man. And that's the purest thing, dog. I wanted to give you a nod because as an A$AP Rock fan, that is one of the reasons why I'm a huge fan of your music and your pen.
Thank you.
Dog, your pen
that's the greatest
crazy.
Compliment ever. That's honestly. It's the greatest compliment ever, man. Especially as a writer, because like I kind of look at myself like a writer first. Is I'm trying to write memorable shit, like most of the time it's like these are my weirdo viewpoints documenting this crazy period of time and whatever, you know what I mean? The last like 20 years have been crazy here, so it's important for me to document it, but to be compared to someone like that, it was like that was the first time when I was like, oh my God, like someone is getting it. You know what I mean?
I've been ingesting it all weekend, and just the writing on it, man. It's doom poetry fits it very well because it is poetry, right?
Yeah.
But it's just fucking the most unabashed, freaking rude, freaking disrespectful linkage of words. You link words together that freaking shouldn't be linked, or else it's gonna freaking open the
Thank
freaking
you.
portal to Cthulhu, dog, and you go there, dog, right? I could tell that you really
Oh,
want to
thank
be a
you.
Christian hip hop artist. I could tell that by songs like Selah and
You
Psalm
know what's
Brady.
hilarious? Like people are never gonna see this coming, but I'm actually a very firm Jesus person. Straight up.
I'm a Jesus
No,
person.
I shit you not. I shit you not, man. I'm a very firm follower of that journey of a journey of a righteous man. You know what I'm saying? If you look at that story and you remove the kind of hocus pocus shit from it, and the Jesus Christ superstar element, and tainting of it by church policy and such, there's actually a badass fucking story in there that you can apply to even just like fighting the power, quote unquote, or fighting powers and principalities. It's a guideline to you stick with yourself and the things you believe in, and you can change the dynamic of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
The whole crazy deity and God part, I'm not like equipped enough or smart enough to like confirm or deny. My whole position is calling out hypocrisy like all over the place, whether it be in religion, whether it be in my own circle. I look at myself kind of as like a very liberal person, as far as the civil rights movement is like everything to me, and the gay rights movement, like that shit is and police and prison reform, like I got a lot of that in there, and it's very important to me. um and scripture, in a sense, for me at least, feeds into that. It fed into Martin Luther King, it fed into Malcolm X. I mean, even the 5%er teachings are in the same sort of vein. You know what I mean? So it's all valuable shit. Um, that it's good to know. I guess it helps me write at least. And I picture so, and I purposely am trying to make religion not so holy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people take it as like, oh shit, like, this dude must be a hard ass atheist. It's like, no, most of my shit is self-reflective about like, it's me healing from being a shithead at times, or like having gone through things. So for me, it's when you know your weaknesses the best and you keep coming at them, it makes your strengths like that much better. You know what I'm saying? You have to constantly test your faith or your belief systems, because how do you know what they are unless you put them to use? So yeah, I know that was like some crazy pretentious shit.
No, man. That hit him right on the head. And my mic again, freaking, I'm getting that feedback. I wanted to bring it up because when you hear it on the surface, you might get that idea. Like I came at you when we were doing the write up. I asked you, I'm like, please, what break down hook for Christ's suicide for me.
Christ suicide. All right. So uh so you can look at okay, so in a sense, and this is some deep theological shit.
No,
All right.
but I when you broke it down to me, because
I'll
I
break it
asked you,
down.
yeah, I
Yeah.
asked you, I'm like, what are the words to it, right? And you told me the words, and then you said at the end, he's like, by the way, just so you know, this isn't
Yeah.
about Christ. It isn't about it isn't bashing Christianity. This is about freaking old Peach Face. This is about freaking
Exactly.
the Magnum movement. And when I saw it
So
in that
yeah.
context, I was there like, this is the type of shit Christ committed suicide for on your life.
Yes,
Bomb. So
exactly.
break it down for us.
So basically that song was heavily inspired by that the day that there's women and children and nuns, all right, peacefully assembling in a square at a church in DC, minding their own business. They're having a BLM protest, but it was nuns and children, straight up. And in comes fucking President Dickhead and starts spraying the crowd down to get in front to take a picture with an upside down Bible. And I actually, you want to talk about how the scene's so connected? Me and Weapon ESP were literally like texting while this was happening, and he was like, "Yo, this is some super villain shit, like in real time." So basically, it's my way of kind of being like a smartass, but like basically, like, yo, Jesus did not die for this right here. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not the reason that Christ was suicidal, because if he knew he had to die and die, it's a whole thing.
Dope flip.
Oh, dichotomy. But it was just like, yo, like sorry, I gotta readjust. It was just this whole like super villain shit of just like, yo, Jesus did not die for this. So that's the hook for that.
Feeling the freaking whole vibe of the album. The production on it is disgusting, man. Can you take the viewers at home who've listened to it down your journey of receiving these packs of beats from the different producers, man? And and how that shit was doing. Which one was the one that hypnotized you? Like, oh, that's it, right?
Yeah, so I had been one of my good friends, Chris Regan, one of the producers. So I had a team I call the Chris's. I had Chris Regan and I had Prometheus, whose name is Chris Bergstrom. So I had the two Chris's. So Chris Regan, who was one of the main producers, he I think he has 7 or 8 songs. So this goes back even further to my roots. So he was the guitarist in Fear Nothing band that my cousin was the drummer for.
Okay.
So he's a musical beast. This is what he does full time. He's also
and he produces hip hop like that.
Yeah. So actually, he's now the bass player in a very huge reggae band, Roots of Creation. Now, so he works as a touring musician and. Picked an MPC up, I don't know how long ago, and started making just like the dirtiest, like downbeat Griselda style beats, bro. Like the guy's just like straight up, he's a musical fucking genius. I mean, like literally. I mean, he plays all of the instruments. He records all the albums. He Fear Nothing band had their debut album was done with Terry Date, who's a producer who produced Pantera and Rage Against the Machine.
Oh shit.
So yeah, so they were on a label and touring the country and shit. This was like early 2000s. So I mean, he was recording with people who literally have platinum plaques. You know what I mean? So his experience bled into my experience now, where, me and him have known each other since I was a kid. So we're talking like 20 years now. And he saw that I was back rapping and putting stuff out. And one day he hit me with this link to a Google Drive. And he was like, oh yeah, man, I've been messing around with beats lately. Like, I don't know, you want to check it out? Just like super casually, just like, yeah, man, I don't, I don't know if you want to like check this shit pile for, you know what I mean?
Whack shit there.
Like, oh, okay, word. And then like, dude, it was this safari of like 100 of the greatest instrumentals I've ever heard. Like, it was just wild. And I could hit him up at any point and be like, can you arrange this? Yo, how about adding like this? Can you add guitar here? Like,
wow. He's like, of course I can. And then he pulls it out of his
and literally he just like I don't know like what he does or if he like lives in a studio, but literally like 20 minutes later he'd be like, here you go, like, you know what I mean? Like it was crazy, man. And it was really inspirational because then I could start expanding what I wanted to do vocally because I wouldn't be trapped into whatever the beat was. You know what I mean? As MCs, especially when we're first starting off and kind of at this just starting to break through level, you know, you don't really have the option of sitting down with like a producer. It's like you're kind of married to what the producer made.
Sends you. Exactly. And then they're off on another beat and stuff. And
They're gone, dude. It's just like, do you want the beat or not? Peace. So this is kind of my first experience with that. Prometheus, like really close personal friend too. He's up in Alberta, Canada. He's in Calgary. He was the drummer of a metal band forever, and then started making beats 15 years ago. And he's incredible because a lot of his other instrumentals are, I mean, everything the dude makes fire. But a lot of his other stuff was purely sample. And at this time period, it was the beginning of the pandemic, and shit was getting really weird. And he started playing these like really eerie piano riffs on his, like, he had an actual piano. He started playing these really creepy piano riffs every morning. And he'd give me some sort of news report about like the world ending. And it was like it was horribly depressing, but like it was also hilarious to both of us. It was like, the world's fucking ending, bro. So like he did a collection of these, and then all of a sudden one day, as like a joke, he added drums to one of his weirdo piano things, and it turned out to be Goon Show. And I was like, yo, like, so he took this real minimal approach on these, of like, so out of the four that he did that were very kind of more minimal was 87 Tyson, Goon Show, and Selah. So those are all very minimal Chris. And part of me was like wanting to show off of like, I can take this bare ass beat and I can weave this into a banger off of like 3 piano notes. So for me, that was like a little bit of a challenge to like push myself vocally to cover the less produced beat, but they just fucking banged. And then one day, out of the blue, he sent the beat for Die, and which is the first song on the album. And seems to be like the song. It's blowing up on all sorts of different spots.
How do you grow the balls to freaking start your album with freaking? Do you ever want to die?
Yeah,
he's like, if you don't kill yourself in this first song, you're gonna enjoy the rest of the album.
I know. And like, I swear, like, I'm like a really happy dude in regular life. Like, I'm really not like, it's like not, it's not a cry for help or anything. It's yeah, I figured I'd set the mood like right out the gate so that anything that was upbeat, you were like, oh, okay, ooh, like, he can be on some happy shit. But I figured started off with some shit that's gonna punch you right in the soul, and then keep it moving from there. And to be honest, that just seemed to be the song that all of us were kind of talking to each other about as I was trying to pick out what should go where, and everyone was like, dude, that's the song right there. So that that we captured some magic on that. I was actually really happy with it, with how that came out. Like, for me, that's like kind of the gold standard right now of like, this is my finest piece of work. You know what I mean? Like,
and Doom Poetry, fantastic body of work. You got some
thank you
on there, man.
Thank you.
For the people at home that don't know, I just be familiar with you guys. Once again, that's the thing about not being in the scene. I'm sure in the scene, people have seen you guys perform a lot, right? But I just became familiar with. Can you tell the people at home who Animal Embassy is?
Animal Embassy, yeah. So so that's the whole other side of everything. Excuse me. Animal Embassy is me and Ferris. Ferris is a cat that I have known, I don't know, 15 plus years. When we were all little cipher kids around here, because that's
Salute to
kind
the
of what I
Cypher
call
Kids.
us.
Yes.
We were all little cipher kids running around ciphering at house parties and outside restaurants and you know what I mean? Like living the Cypher life, man. You know what I
I
mean?
don't
Like
want to grow up, man. I'm a fucking Cypher Life kid,
exactly,
dog.
bro.
Straight up,
Like
yo.
yeah, like being like 20, 21-year-old kids at house parties, like you fucking blah, thinking we can rap and shit. So Ferris was like Ferris was king of the Cypher kids, man. Me and him just constantly bumped into each other forever, and we're like really good friends. And he had rapped forever, but not really on like a, I don't want to say serious because he's always been like serious about it, but not on like an organized level. So when I came back after I had taken 5 years off, my mother got sick. Which for those at home, that's what Hero the MC made fun of, was my mother. So
Salute to your moms, but
moms. Um,
fuck with that.
so yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. So I had just come back, and Ferris was back as an adult after a couple years off, and he was posting these freestyle videos. And he was in a band that he was rapping in, doing guest spots in the reggae scene again out in Western Mass. And I was like, yo, like I'm coming back. Why don't we try and like get something together? He hypes me as well. So it was like one of those like, yo, I'm coming back. I need hype help. And then we started playing, and I'm like, man, I gotta give this dude some shit to do. Like he's too good to just be like a hype man. So slowly we started writing more and more songs, together to perform. So that also, when you're playing like 45-minute sets, rapping your ass off, it's good to have a breather for like, 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah.
So out of necessity, I was like, bro, we need to get you some verses like now. And that's kind of what Animal Embassy came out of. It's I don't want to call it like a side project. It's not a side project. It's like another project that
it's a group you have, and so it's a duo.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
and Ferris?
Me and Ferris, and Ferris is just one of those amazing hip hop personalities.
Yo,
he also
he kills it on the video we just played though.
Yeah,
that he fucking murks that shit, and
he
fucking stands out, man, on that fucking.
So proud of that one.
On Pontius Autopilot is one of my favorite joints on the fucking album. That shit, the beat on that shit is nasty. You kill that shit, fucking Ruck,
Thank you. Thank you.
Mo coming in with fucking
Mo
when it
Ruck,
fuck you with your
man, Mo
friend's
Ruck
dick,
is-
dog.
Yeah, bro.
Dog.
Mo
kills that
Ruck
shit.
is one of my favorite dudes in all of hip hop. Just like he's just a cool ass dude in real life. I mean, like a lot
the whole
of my
family, man. They are fucking A1, man, and he's always been tip top. But he kills it on both songs. But when Ferris comes in, dog, I was like,
Yeah.
who's this, yo? It's one of those cats, and that's what I love about your album, man, because it you have your solo songs where you shine completely and stuff, but the ones where you're bringing in freaking features. For those who might not know about the scene up there, it's a really good freaking inside look, man. Cats like I never knew about who's the other dude on we just played it, man. Skinny Jones, or what's his name?
Shy Elemental?
No, not Shy Elemental. No, it's a oh man, I played that junk before.
Oh, Southside Jones.
Southside Jones. Oh,
Southside Jonesy, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had never
Second
heard of
Street.
Jonesy
Second
before, man.
Street, Beaver Park.
Yeah, man, and I was like, yo, this dude is fire. Just introducing us to a lot of freaking new voices, man. And
Oh, dude, these are new old voices, man. Jonesy been around for a minute. So all right, so with the features, real quick, I just want to get this in because it's important to me. Everyone who's on this album who made it and appeared on it are people I directly know on a day-to-day basis. These are all my friends. These are family members. And for me, like that was like super huge I didn't want any outside features. I didn't want big features. You know what I'm saying? So I
this
also
is
wanted to
crew.
use this album. I want to use this album to be like, here's everyone. Here we all are. You know what I'm saying? Well, like, here's who I think you need to know. So it's been really fucking cool to take this album worldwide with people. Like, literally, like, I just did a thing for a radio station in Belgium, Brussels, and they're talking about songs that have like my friends on them. And it's cool to be like taking my people around the world with my music. You know what I mean? Like I got friends out in California that have no idea who these people are. They're like shouting my boys out. You know what I mean? So that's really, really cool to me. And it's a really personal sort of thing of like documenting here. I want people to look back and be like, oh shit, that was that Boston shit 2020s. You know what I mean? So I'm really trying to, we're all forging a new signature sound out of here, especially as new wave artists of like, you know, a little darker, you know what I mean? A little slower, a little darker, just a little different, you know. So we let those cats still be those cats.
Mm-hmm.
Terminology is terminology, man. I don't want to take away from him. That's him.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, so we're all establishing this like real, you know, it's dark times, man. Dark times, dark music, and it's a reflection of like the city and the people, and you got the epidemic, but you also have the the heroin and opiate epidemic up here, which is still full on raging. I mean, that like didn't stop. That hasn't stopped. We're still losing friends on a like a weekly basis. Um, so as a result, man, it's produced some real fucking dark times up here. With you got like friends dying, and you have families being broken up, and you have people going to jail, and it has a trickle down effect. Everybody feels that struggle, you know what I'm saying? So and it's tied into a lot of the music that we're making out here, and especially guys like SD Knack and shit like that. So it's been cool to like do that as a collective, and it's important to me that people have this like timestamp. Man, you hear a Ramones record and you're like, oh shit, that was the 70s in New York City right there. You know what I mean? So
You
yeah,
feel like this album is fucking, yo, this stamps 21,
I feel
22.
I feel like I feel like this is the first album where I really like developed what I sound like, as opposed to like my influences, and you know, if that makes sense. It's like finally kind of stepping out into like, all right, this is what like I do. Not,
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you one thing, brother. If it tickles your fancy or blows up your ego or anything, today for the first time, the words came out of my mouth. Yo, that dude there sounds like Speak the Rebel. Ah,
Oh
that
shit!
so
Thank
bomb,
you,
bomb.
thank
So
you, thank you, thank you.
when you
That's
have
what that's super humbling, man.
yo,
Oh, that's
so
super
just so you know,
humbling.
man, and you have a freaking distinct voice. Your style is completely unique. You everybody that you step on the tracks with on your album, you don't get outshined by anybody. You just do you, and they do them, and
Yeah,
it's that freaking. Yeah, you guys go ahead and freaking run down there with the guns. I'm gonna fly up here in this fucking on this broom and throw these fucking
yeah.
ninja stars at people and shit. Right. The whole album is fantastic, man. And what you're
Thank you,
describing
thank you,
is,
thank you.
I understand now why the doom poetry, dog, because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was just heartfelt music for these dark times, man. For everybody out there, where could they find you? Where could they buy your album, man? Oh, and just so everybody knows,
Buy my
please
album.
follow my
There's
man.
a word right
He's
there.
Mr.
I feel like I gotta
Buy
do some Pee Wee. I gotta do some Pee Wee Herman shit whenever someone says it. Like, oh shit, it's a
Yeah.
yeah.
That is awesome. You got to do the shirt with you standing in Pee Wee's Playhouse and all the fucking furniture going crazy. Buy my
Yeah,
album.
straight up. All right, so literally, the really cool thing now, Google Speak the Rebel, and it literally will take you right to anywhere you could ever want to buy the album. Also, you can go direct on my Bandcamp, which is speaktherebel.bandcamp.com. I'm on all the major streaming platforms. Speak the Rebel, Instagram, Speak the Rebel.
There you go.
Speak
Dexter.
the Rebel at Gmail.
Dexter Surround, if you could please put up Speak the Rebel at Bandcamp right there in the chat so anybody listening in could go ahead and pick up the album, man.
Shout out to Dexter, man.
Yo.
And Brad, I think Brad's on here too. Brutus Maximus.
Brutus has been here the whole show.
Can we shout Brutus out real quick? I know we got some hip hop lifers love earlier. Another example of people coming together. Brutus Maximus runs Raw Side Hip Hop out of Australia. Out of Australia.
Are they out of Australia?
Australia. He's out of Australia, man. He's a whole time zone away.
Oh shit! I thought he was up there in Boston with you guys, man.
Bro, here's the thing: is an Australian blog introduced Boston hip hop to the world more so than Boston blogs did.
It's true.
For whatever reason, we all found this dude, and he found us. And now he's teamed up with Hip Hop Lifers, who's in the Massachusetts area. And so it was like we found him, he found us, he and the Lifers found each other.
Yo, I found out about Mayhem. I found out about Mayhem of EMS and fucking Recognize Real because of Raw Side Hip Hop, dog.
So as a result, other cats from here started seeing our names pop up, you know, Raw Side Hip Hop, and they're like, oh shit, what is this? Oh shit, I should submit. So it's like, so Raw Side has become not only this amazing, you know, like the more mainstream of the underground, but also the underground. So it's been great for national stuff. And then he has all of us, like, we're like his local artists in a way. It's wild. So shout out to him and the Hip Hop Lifers group have a lot to do with the resurgence of the scene here and with the exposure of the artists here. We're very lucky that we have committed press outlets. And I tell these dudes all the time, they have no idea how lucky they are because everyone wants to be a rapper or producer. And that lane is so full and competitive. But there's no one doing press. There's no one. There's like two people. There's no one doing press, like just press. So they have a team of, like, I want to say there's at least a dozen of them, moderators. Offhand, I don't like remember everyone to shout all of them out. But we have a dedicated press wing that is keeping an eye constantly daily on everything we're putting out. And as a result, they're growing themselves and some of our people are funneling in, and it's this whole, it really takes a collective. You cannot get your shit out on a more serious level unless you have a collective of like-minded people. Wherever that is, and wherever that is for you, it's the most important shit to find. Because we have this cool thing of, you know, they're promoting us, we're promoting them, we're selling merch, they're selling merch. We're all finding new people are creating, new people are inspired. So it's important.
Speaking of the community that you guys are building and you're intermixing with Hip Hop Lifers, to close out, can you please tell the people where to find you and the Hip Hop Lifers community and Animal Embassy and Weapon ESP in March?
Yes. March. This is
what's my motherfucking name, brother? Come on, man.
Bro, I love your questions, and I like, thank you for your dedication to this, because you are a humongous part of this, bro. This is huge. I don't think you understand that 20 years from now we're gonna look back and be like, oh shit, I was on fucking WVCC back
Bro, I
when
get you.
before Rudy was on the Wake Up Show.
So I get your interviews. I get your interviews, and I'm here like, yo, I gotta fucking speak the Rebel rookie card, though. Yo, I got a fucking Logan rookie card. Yo,
Yeah,
fucking,
man.
those shits are gold
No,
to me, man.
I'm telling you, bro. If you, and I know you're gonna stick with it because this is what you do. I'm telling you though, bro, this is in the history of hip hop. People gonna look back at what you got going on and be like, yo, you remember that was important. So thank
And
you.
I'm honored to be a part of this scene, like you were describing before. To be part of our hip hop community at this point in time, man, is a blessing, man. I wish I lived up in Massachusetts because of this. You guys have a fucking phenomenal night of hip hop going down. Could you tell the fucking
Yeah,
people about March Rappers?
in March. Sorry, I went up. Yeah, so the Hip Hop Lifers are putting together their first live show. Anthony and Brad, who primarily run the group, and I know I'm missing a couple other guys, but those are people I'm friends with. Their vision is to become, not only a press outfit but a show promoter. Exposing people to all of us, who exposing people to the scene. And this is their first venture, and you can tell by the lineup that we all tremendously respect these dudes and what they're doing for the scene and the culture here, because I'm first of all, like, the lineup is stacked. We got XL the Beast headlining, which means we most likely, this is the showman in me, but we may get slain out, and some of those dudes, that's the respect that XL carries. XL is the OG out here right now, especially. I mean, he got shit with Ill Bill coming out. He's got all sorts of crazy shit. Shout out XL. So we gotta do.
That's not XL from fucking from Smack and King of the Dot.
No,
That was battle rapping with freaking. That was part of Pumpkinhead's crew. Okay.
No, he was out before them. So
Gotcha.
XL from the Creators, which is where Jay-Sean started, or Jason. That was a group they all started out. Like I said, early 90s, they were on MTV with a video they had.
That's XL you were telling me about. Word. Gotcha.
XL the Beast, yeah. So I mean, he's still out there. He's still he just came back as well and has a second wave going for him. So we got him headlining. Well, they got him headlining. They got Weapon, which, like, I'm sorry, bro, but Weapon's like the first or second best rapper out here right now. I'm extremely biased because he's one of my best friends, but like, everything that dude touches is fucking gold, man. Mr. Automatic, his last solo album that just dropped, fucking life-changing. He has a project 2 coming out with Tim Barry soon, which is gonna be crazy. So we got him, then we got me and Ferris holding down the opener spot for them. Which I'm just like overjoyed. That I'm excited as a fan. This is the only show that I'm probably gonna show up early to and leave late for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be there at like 5 and I'll be going home at like 2. So
it's gonna be a dope night, man. And the Hip Hop Lifers have been so generous that not only will the folks up in Massachusetts be able to see it, but they're trying to work it out to where we can see it through a live stream, man.
Yep, absolutely.
If you guys just on Facebook follow Hip Hop Lifers, right, or on IG is hip_hop_lifers or at whatever. They're gonna put up all the information on how to get the live stream, man. Let's support this because they're doing something big for the community.
Oh my God,
man.
yeah, man.
And I'm gonna be watching from over here and freaking, because I want to see fucking. I definitely want to see fucking you guys rock that shit live, man.
I mean, listen, when you respect someone's vision like that, you can do anything together. So it starts with that. They have tremendous respect from all of us as artists. Fucking love you, bitches. Love
Yo,
you.
with that said, man, they're gonna be following you at Speak the Rebel. You could find Speak everywhere at Speak the Rebel.
Buy my album.
And
You got to buy the album.
Yo,
you got to.
It is fucking worth every red cent. Don't stream that shit only. You know he doesn't make a fucking penny off that shit. He makes a sliver of a penny off your stream.
Yeah,
Go buy the album. I remember middle of 2021, you had said, yo, people ain't listening to full albums anymore. I feel bad for him. And freaking you slapped him with fucking 14 joints of bangers, man. That shit is a wonderful play all the way through. No skips.
Thank you.
It is WVCC approved. My write-up is on the Weekend Bag. Go check that out. My man,
Weekend Bag. I got links on all my stuff to the Weekend Bag. That was awesome, man. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for letting me freaking cover it, man. It's always a pleasure freaking covering your music. Can you do me a favor real quick just so we can get the final drop? Let them know who you are and let them know you rock with WVCC Saif Live. Can you do that for them, Speak?
Yeah, what up? Speak the Rebel, Boston, Mass. 508. You rocking with WVCC Saif Life Radio.
No, not like that. Speak the Rebel. Not like that. Speak the Rebel. You got to tell them WVCC Saif Life. Can you do it like that?
WVCC.
No. It's got to be the Saif Life. Hit him with that.
Yo, you haven't seen that movie, have you? You haven't seen Private Parts, have you? WVCC. Yeah, WVCC Saif Life.
There you go. Bam. Now I'll fucking chop that shit up and make it sound fresh. Yo, Speak. You're a brother down here, man. Whenever you fucking head down to Miami, I got you on the stage here.
Bro. Yo, it's -2 degrees out tonight, so it may be soon.
Wow, come down here, freaking February, March. We got you. We're actually running a monthly at the end of every month. So if you want to come down to Florida, you come towards the end of the month, and I got you on the stage out here.
No shit.
Seriously.
Okay.
You already got me on the DM, baby.
I'm gonna take you up on that. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna message you, man.
Yo, I'm gonna play.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for watching. Thank you so much. I know a lot of my friends came out to watch it, so thank you.
Yo, my numbers are crazy today. Thank you for bringing them, man. I'm gonna play one more off the fucking album. I love you, brother, man. Be good.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.